Hello everyone, GABH Gaming here, and welcome to our very first honest review of Tekken 7. Okay, so first off, this video will be containing spoilers about the story and some other character the episodes that are in the story itself. Okay, so PlayStation has always been usually my console of choice. I mean, when the PS3 and the Xbox 360 came out, obviously I went to the 360 because I felt like it was a better console at the time. I mean, PS3 had the whole thing of, free live basically, and that was a good selling point for it. But I felt like there was a lot missing from that console that I got on 360. But I have been a PlayStation fanboy, and I'm not afraid to admit it. PS1 has been some of my greatest memories, and those games that I had, when I was growing up, are Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, the original Medal of Honor, and the Tekken franchise. I feel like those were the staples of the PlayStation. And just seeing that this game has come back, and it has come back with full force, let me tell you that. There are some, downfalls that the game needed to have, I really think, it should have had them. There's no reason they shouldn't have been there. But it's very good. It is a very good game. So, the first thing we are going to be discussing is the story mode, the Mishima Saga. Now, this follows the Mishimas. It follows Heihachi, his wife Kazumi, Kazuya, and Jin. Now, spoiler alert, Jin's really not in this story that much. He is in a freaking coma the whole time, and I really think that was a cop-out, because I would have loved to play as him, or, maybe take on Heihachi as Devil Jin, stuff like that. But it was good regardless. I never thought that I would actually feel for a character in Tekken, because I loved the arcade ladder endings. I thought King's story was really depressing. He had lost an orphan, and basically, he didn't want anything to do with his church anymore, or anything, and he kind of just gave up, and Armor King told him, get back out there, you have stuff to worth fighting for. It has emotional stuff in it, but I never thought that I would actually be feeling for a character, and I felt for Heihachi during this story, because I always thought that Heihachi was literally just a jerk. I'm gonna throw my family off a cliff, and then his son throws his son, his daughter. It's just, that's what the whole thing was. I thought it as a joke at that point. But then you get to see why he did what he did to the reporter. That's something else. I'll talk about that real quick. The reporter was so monotone, it hurt. I mean, this man lost his son and his wife, and he just talks like this. The Mishimas took my family. But that's the type of stuff, and I thought that was kind of annoying. I figured, they'd said they spent so long, and I thought they'd get some emotion. This man lost his family, and he was in the process of, he had a screwdriver. He was about ready to kill Jin when he was knocked out. And this guy just stays like this. But Heihachi was the show stealer for me in this, because you got to learn so much about him and Kazumi. Because, I mean, you could tell that he felt bad for killing his wife, but it was kind of a thing, he had just killed her to do it, She was trying to stop him from taking over the Zaibatsu, and, he killed her. And, Kazuya, then he tossed him off the cliff or whatever. But the part that's later on in the chapter, you get to see that Kazumi she's the evil one, basically. She knew what she was doing. She married him because she wanted to kill the Mishima bloodline. And Heihachi tries his best not to kill her. He knocks her out multiple times, and you can hear it in his voice, like he's got this soft, tender voice when he's talking to her when he first sees her. And he had a lot of emotion in it, and obviously, he ends up snapping her neck. He kills her. And besides, in the trailers, when you see him cry when he's talking to Kazuya, this is the first time that you get to see emotion from Heihachi. He's weeping. He just had to kill his wife, even though, she betrayed him. He loved her. So you get to learn that basically he figured that if he killed his son, tossed him off the cliff, if he did not get back up, then the devil gene didn't have a hold of him. And he said he already figured that he should have done that, and he should have just killed his son right there. He's kind of an anti-hero in the story because, he doesn't want this to spread. He's trying to get rid of it. So, a lot of story things get implemented. Lars finds Jin. They say that he's the only hope to cure this and whatever. So then you get to the final battle. Akuma works in the story extremely well. Coming from somebody that doesn't really play Street Fighter, I don't like the series that much. I felt like he was a very good character we brought in the story. But the final battle comes, and Heihachi and Kazuya it's a epic conclusion to it. They're sitting there fighting man to man, then Kazuya goes into double form, and I love how he has his Tekken 2 moveset. He kind of goes all stiff with the eye laser, and it makes you shake when you fall over. I thought that was extremely cool. But the ending actually surprised me, because I actually thought Kazuya, from the time that I heard that this was going to be a dark storyline, it was going to be the end of the Mishima saga. I figured Kazuya was going to die finally, and then maybe Jin, after he defeated Azazel, lost a devil gene, something. I know Jin probably wasn't going to die because he's become like their poster boy, basically. So the ending comes, and Kazuya actually does kill Heihachi. He throws him into the lava. And that's how it ends. And Devil Kazuya, throughout the whole story, Kazuya is trying to pose like he's the good guy of it. And the people find out that he is a devil and stuff goes haywire and blah blah blah. But I'll tell you right now, spoiler alert, this is not the last Tekken. This also technically wasn't the end of the Mishima saga, which confused me. Heihachi died, and then it ends with Kazuya becoming devil and Jin waking up and Lars telling him, you're the last hope. Something like that. It's not the end of it. It's an after-credit scene. So I don't understand why they said it was the end when it wasn't. Okay. So the story was great. I'd give the story probably an 8, just a base 8 for an honest review, because it was supposed to be the conclusion and it wasn't, so I was kind of confused. So the bad part about the story is that this is going to disappoint everybody. This was ridiculous for me. I feel like my overall rating for the game is probably like an 8.5 or an 8.7. It probably would have been almost a 10 if these would have been added. There is no arcade ladder endings for this game at all. I think that's ridiculous. The character episodes are awful. One fight episodes with no extra dialogue for the things that I've played, just sound effects of them fighting and it ends, is very dumb. There's obviously trophies to go with them, and if you want an excuse to play as your character for a story, do it, but I don't think they're worth it. So that's bad. There's a lot of modes that are missing. Team battle's missing. There's no volleyball. There's no Tekken ball, stuff like that. But I don't think we should have expected that coming because they was working so much on the story, and they did do a good job. The story is amazing. So let's go on to the other modes that are in it. What you're seeing right now is Treasure Battle mode, and that is basically Ghost Battle from Tekken 5 if any of you have seen it, but instead of just getting money this time, you will actually unlock character customization items, and it's very nice. It gives you something to do, and it'll help you get better with the character as you rise through the ranks. Something that's cool that's in it, as you're seeing now, and this is after you beat the story mode that you unlock these, but they're special matches. And you basically fight the bosses throughout the game, and you can get a rare item for it. Now, something cool that I've noticed out of all the people I've played as is that when you beat the special match, you will actually get a rare item specifically for your character. Like right here, what do I get? I think I get Tentacle Head, maybe? Oh, I got a special hit effect for Yoshimitsu. So, that's cool. There's special fights like Double Damage, Turbo Battle, Heist Battle is a mirror match, and if you beat them, you get a rare item from your own character. Arcade Battle is extremely fun, and the first day I got it, I played that for like 4 hours. It was so enthralling. I like unlocking stuff, the character customization. Exclusively for the PS4 is the jukebox mode. I'm not going to start anything with people, but I'll tell you right now, it's a blessing to have that because I do not like Tekken 7 soundtrack that much. I pretty much fooled with the whole soundtrack in a couple stages I don't really like. I didn't really fool with them. But jukebox mode is a blessing. Bandai, I thank you so much because the people that grew up playing it on PlayStation want to hear the old tracks. Because when I think of Tekken, I think of, Oriental music, some techno mixed with metal. It's in your face. But some of these are just kind of ridiculous and don't fit the mood for them. Obviously we have versus, practice. There's an actual arcade ladder, but there's no ending for it. It's just if you want to earn some extra money and fight some AI without having to worry about the rank up system. Online, self-explanatory. You have fight other people. You have tournament modes now. It's a really good condensed package for a fighting game. And I'll tell you this right now, I don't like how people are comparing this to like Injustice or Guilty Gear. They are two very separate games from this game. And people were complaining about it was only a 3-hour story mode. Guys, fighting games aren't known for having a story. And 3 hours, I think, is plenty of time. And there was a lot of information there, and it was done extremely well. So, like I said, I give the story mode of it like a 9. It was very good, an 8 maybe. But the game is very packed. Then the next thing I'll talk about is the gameplay itself. This is probably one of the smoothest Tekkens you will probably ever play in your life. Being able to do the corkscrew bounds that lead into more combos, getting to feel with the characters just feels so good in this game. The new things they added, the Rage Drive, Rage Art, which you've seen there a little while ago, the slow-mo, the power crushes, just all the stuff they added in it just works with the game so well. Like, it's one of the things like, oh man, I wish this was like clear back in Tekken 5, this would have been amazing. It's extremely well done. The game is probably the smoothest Tekken you will ever play in your life. It's great. I have nothing to complain about there. The netcode, I played with some friends online. I haven't actually just went to a ranked battle and tried to play somebody random. Apparently there has been problems on PS4, but PC runs better. Of course it does. But my thing is, it's how it feels in your hands is whether, what you should decide to do for the game itself. So the game runs extremely well from what I've played so far. The gameplay is spot on. I mean, that's 10 out of 10 for me for the gameplay. Because it's one of those games where, if you know how to use the character, they're overpowered. If that makes any sense to certain people. Every character is good when you get used to them. I've been playing as Jin, Yoshimitsu, I just started him, King, Brian Fury, and Dragunov. And I've played for them about 2 hours in practice mode and then went into Treasure Battle, learned with them, unlocked some stuff for them, and it works very well for this game. It is an extremely well done game. I have no complaints. It's just the arcade endings should have been in there. That shouldn't have been a question whether to put it in or not. It should have been in the game. But overall, I give this game an 8.7 out of 10. I will be doing some live streams here in the next few weeks with some viewers and some friends. So if you would like to come on, just look for my channel down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, stay honest.